Rum Distillery in Hawaii? Let me share a little secret with you. Tucked away in the heart of central Oahu is a place called Kohana Distillers. And yep, you guessed it, they make rum. It's about a 35-minute drive from Honolulu, and here's how we got there. Look at this gift shop. They got glasses, t-shirts, coffee cups, coffee beans, and much, much more. And believe it or not, they sell rum. And now, let's eavesdrop on our tour guide.
Time frame, they had 3,008 weeks ago. One of the former Del Monte workers came in. He now lives on Big Island. He hadn't been back since they had closed up shop, but he was working for them for over 25 years and asked if he could still buy a book of stamps from us up until he came in, and that was that Del Monte actually had their own currency as well, and so they paid their workers.
Kohana makes its rum out of sugar cane. And I learned something new today. There's many different types of sugar cane. Kohana is proud of its slogan, from farm to bottle. Meaning they grow the sugar cane, harvest it, process it, stores it, and then sells it to their consumers.
It is a genetically unique varietal of cane. So even though some of them look very similar to one another, the genetics speak otherwise. And we actually have 34 genetically unique varieties of cane that we grow here. And the other cool thing is that all 34 varieties can be traced back to the first 100 years of the Polynesians coming to the islands of Hawaii. So these are all heirloom cane varietals. That is all that we grow. And in doing so, we have become the world's largest collection of heirloom Hawaiian cane anywhere. So we're very, very honored to have that distinction. But it was the Manulele cane that started it all for us. And knowing its cultural and historic significance, you're already nodding your head, you know where I'm going with this. Pilimai means come close or come hither. And unlike the Manulele that brought back a distant love, the Pilimai cane, as PG as I can possibly say, was used for a one-night stand. It was not meant for anything long-lasting. Basically, it was if you had an attraction to somebody and just kind of wanted to test the waters, but didn't know if that would be reciprocated, you could have this ceremony performed to give you a little bit more of an advantage. Now, in some Polynesian tribes, this was also considered a dark magic cane for that reason, because it was a very powerful ceremony. So much so that they needed a counter ceremony for it. So, purposely and intentionally, one translation on papa'a is burnt or charred. That's kind of the self-explanatory one. It's only one of the heirloom Hawaiian varietals to have such a consistent color throughout the entire plant, and actually only one of two all varietals globally to have the coloration be so consistent through the plant. So it is a very unique cane in that regard, but it's the ceremony it was used in that makes it my favorite. In the ceremonies, it had a different translation, and it meant to bring together and strengthen. And it was actually used to bring somebody into your family through adoption. Now, sometimes this was an orphan, but actually more frequently, this was an individual that you had a very strong bond or relationship to. I always like to use the example of someone's best friend. You're not blood related, but by performing this ceremony, you became part of each other's family with the hope and intention that bond of brother or sisterhood would then be strengthened and lifelong lasting.
Okay,
So the aim
let's see how they started.
10 to 15% of the cut from all of our barrel-aged products. That's the price that we pay to have good favor and fortune, and hopefully longevity as well. We have actually 3 different types of barrel-aged products that we do. I'm going to talk about their similarities first, and then we'll go into what their differences are. Now, almost always with any of our barrel-aged rums, we're going to start in barrels that have our logo on them. Those are virgin American oak barrels. Typically they're going to have a char 1 or char 2 on the inside. The higher the number, the thicker the burn. You can get all the way up to a level 7 char if you desired.
These 4 barrels to the left are special barrels. They're made of koa. Koa is a major part of the Hawaiian heritage. Outrigger canoes, surfboards, ukuleles, high-end woodworks, that is bows, tables, picture frames, jewelry, etc., are all part of this Hawaiian heritage.
You guys are welcome to take off your masks, so it's a lot easier to drink that way. Our name, Kohana, is actually very, very fitting, I feel, for the type of rum that we produce. Ko is a Hawaiian word for sugarcane. Hana means to work. So you put the two together, we translate into work of the cane. And so now that you all know the rest of the story, so to speak, you understand how that fits into the grand scheme of things. Today we're going to start off with what I call the side-by-side comparison, and I'm going to, before I pour anything today, apologize in advance. I'm a little wobbly. I was weed eating all day yesterday, and so holding on to the weed eater has made my hands a little bit shaky. So I'm going to pour each of these individually and make sure that it fits into the glass.
Okay.
So we're going to start off though with the side-by-side comparison. By using a different cane, it will have an effect on the overall flavor of the rum. Just four. Now, being able to use the fresh pressed juice also makes the rums incredibly fragrant. So you're going to pick up a lot of that on the nose. Now the glasses that the water is in have the loving nickname of Rolly glasses. And there's actually a couple reasons that we have them. Sadly, but the reason that we have them at all is twofold. One is that it is a tribute to the first rum distributors of the world. Back in the 1500s, all of that rum was transported on sail ships. You needed a Rolly glass to rock with the waves, so it wouldn't fall off the table and break. The other reason is that these Rolly glasses as well make for excellent cocktail glasses, especially for somebody, if you're not going to drink a cocktail quickly, it helps stir your drink.
Oh, that is so cool.
The variety of cane is going to be kea as well. So you had unaged kea in white rum form. Now you can contrast it with what a barrel-aged kea tastes like.
Oh, that smells nice.
Oh, yeah.
Really well with the cocoleta. Throwing that out there too. We have the rum bars. We have locally made rum cake as well, made by Chef Jackie Lau.
That was good.
She's the former executive chef.